Hey, it's AP Experiment coming back at you with some Kick the Anthill. This is the assignment this week. Um, I really thought it would be fun to just play it, just because it's basically like me helping out new players. Uh, Most people play Kick the Anthill just to rack up the extra XP because there's so much XP to be had in Kick the Anthill. Me personally, with a maxed out roster, I kind of just play it for the fun of it because it's basically a whole incursion where I really just get to be kind of reckless, and I can just kind of just shoot everything. It's a lot of combat, and it's very fun. That's why I enjoy it, because I do get to shoot everything. I brought Finka in with her LMG. I honestly probably could have brought in her, I believe her Spear 706 is what it's called, her AR. But I decided to bring the LMG just because it would have the extra ammo capacity. I love that there's actually not a movement debuff that you get for running the LMG, and that pretty much almost every operator's speed is about the same while running an LMG. It's very fun. That's why I enjoy it. But yeah, I basically chopped this up really well. So all you're pretty much gonna see is the objectives. All you're gonna see is like us taking things out. It's very fun. I love Kick the Anthill. Kick the Anthill is basically, it's all combat, no stealth really necessary. There's no enemies rounding the corners or things of that nature. You just go to the targeted areas, you blow it up, you take out the nests on the inside. Some of them are armored, some of them aren't. So you do have to really actually go inside, even though we did have the fuse, it was pretty much blowing up most of them. You do most of the time have to actually run inside and hit some of the armored ones. This looter thought he was special, thought he could round the corner. I had to make sure to clean him up really quickly. I was also making sure I was running arc mines just in case anything got past the front line. I was also making sure to pick those back up when they weren't actually being used. Running Finka was actually very useful, and it was a very great idea on my part. I probably would have also been good to run Doc, but I decided Finka was the better move for this one, just because she's a little bit more wild or not a little bit more wild, a little bit more flexible when it comes to her ability, rather than me having to actually like shoot my teammates. If they were to go down, I would just really have to hit my ability and they both would pop back up. So the versatility of her ability was really why I picked her over Doc. Otherwise I probably would just run Doc or Rook. Either way, basically I really played this from the more supportive role. I wanted to just bring a character that could play that supportive role, because I believe one, if not both of them, didn't have a maxed out operator. So they pretty much, I'm pretty sure, we're using this for the extra XP to kind of max out their roster. Me, I was just doing it for the fun of it. I really just enjoy the combat of it, the combat aspect, the fact that it's a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit more laid back. Because all you really have to do is shoot. As long as your aim is pretty decent, you're fine. As long as you know the weak points on the Archeans, you're pretty much fine. It does require teamwork, because if your team is, the moment you actually start shooting anything in there, it pretty much activates everything. So it's very similar to decontamination in that aspect. But other than that, it's really easy. It's just a lot of shooting, a lot of killing, a lot of just aiming. I mean, my worst issue was the fact that this LMG reloads so super slow, and then I ran out of paralysis grenades. But it was a fun experience. I really do need to try to find a lot more people who are talking, or maybe I might just need to, hop that bridge myself and actually just start speaking on random, seeing if people have mics at the beginning of sessions. But so far, it's just a lot of people who just like to play. I don't know if they like to play in silence or if they're in their own parties or Discord chats or whatever, but so far, no go. I haven't really ran into somebody who's talking in game randomly in maybe a month or so now. I can't seem to actually get in alignment with anyone on the Discord. By the time I'm trying to find them, either everyone's already has this full squad, or people are just about to hop off. But all in all, it's just actually really been a fun time just exploring the game and messing around. Everyone's pretty much waiting on whatever operators are coming next, looking at every little leak. Someone was just talking about how Jackal's helmet all of a sudden has a React logo on the back of it on one of his possible new uniforms, I believe, on Siege. So, you know, everybody's basically just waiting on that next operator to drop. Me as well, but whenever it drops, I'm definitely gonna be on it. Definitely gonna be playing. Definitely gonna be watching. I'm making sure to just, you know, play it by ear and enjoy myself. Because that's really what, at the end of the day, what all gaming is about. It's just enjoying myself. And this game is so much fun. It would actually be more fun if I could actually convince my friends to pick it up. They just don't pick it up because they're not really big on co-op, even, which is ironic since one of them is a huge Call of Duty Zombies nerd. But for some reason, the idea of a co-op game is I don't know, it's not fun to them. It's weird. But then again, he's really big on Apex, and Apex, of course, is having its consistent updates and things of that nature. And he's been doing a lot of, so he's been playing a lot of that. And he's like super sweaty. He's the type of dude to really be hitting plats and diamonds on a regular basis. So I understand it. Oh my god, I love Finka's ability to revive herself. So key. So amazing, so clutch. But yeah, that reload really started getting me killed. The fact that I had to reload so much, the rooters were coming around. I don't know if we just started missing nests or what, but like this last one's really got wild for us because they really just unleashed everything. There was rooters and tormentors. The grunts were going crazy. I was trying to make sure to hit as many nests as I possibly could. But man, it was wild. This is why I love Kick the Anthill, because it can just get crazy like this. It can just really be really super active rather than the really like slower paced, stealthy feel that I have when I'm doing my like solo incursions. I can be a little more reckless. I can be a little bit more free flowing and more fluid. And that's like my favorite thing. Oh my god, I killed it with the pistol. I didn't even realize that. But I love that so much. The aspect of that where it's just combat, chaos, teamwork, and that's the only way you're really getting through it. That is so amazing to me. And that's really why I love this. This might actually be one of my favorite modes until they bring possibly back I believe it was Overload, or no, the Crisis event. I'm sorry, my bad. That's actually what I was thinking of. Until the next Crisis event, basically where they have you use the foam injectors to do certain objectives. That one was also amazing. It's a very combative one, but that's one where you actually have to be semi-stealthy to get to the objective, and then you have to basically hold down that point, which is a completely different aspect than this. This is kind of controlled. If you really wanted to, you can kind of, I'm not going to say cheese it, but if you really wanted to, you can kind of just hold all the enemies to one area and then clear out all the nests. And once you do that, it's pretty much an elimination thing once you pretty much clear out the nests. Me, of course, I'm just being reckless and shooting into the room because I know that there's 100 or so enemies. I'm making sure to take out the nests as well, but I know that a few of them are armored, so I wasn't really focused as much on them, as well as I knew that the fuse was probably going to be, you know, destroying them with his charges. So I was more focused on making sure I was hitting as many enemies as possible and giving as much support fire as possible, making sure to pop my ability and keep everyone's health at a decent level, even though we're all pretty much low health. I was the most likely to die, so I was playing back a little bit. I really didn't want it to come down to basically me dying, and that's the reason we kind of fail it. Of course, I made sure to lead the Smasher to his demise and, you know, be a distraction, be a good diversion so that everything can run smooth. And we pretty much got out of there. I'll catch y'all on the next one.